It's been bugging me how on this channel I haven't reviewed hardly any Switch games, and the ones I have reviewed have launched on multiple platforms. I picked up today's game, American Ninja Warrior Challenge, specifically looking for a crappy Switch game to review, only to find out that it also launched for multiple platforms. So while you dump your suggestions for Switch reviews in the comments, here's a shitty game that was a total waste of my time! American Ninja Warrior is a pretty bog-standard reality game show competition where athletes across the United States compete in a brutal obstacle course for money because insert every inspirational backstory you've heard on American Idol, America's Got Talent, and So You Think You Can Dance. I don't have a problem with the show. It's done a lot of good inspiring people to work out, and it was cool that time Green Arrow competed for charity. It just bores me, and I miss the Japanese version that I used to watch on G4. It had hilarious high-speed commentary. They filmed in daytime. It was short, but that's my hang-up. The show is apparently a big enough smash hit to get an exceedingly rare non-mobile licensed game, thus American Ninja Warrior Challenge for every modern major console. You start at a character creator that, for some reason, doesn't let you enter in your own name. You have to pick a first and last name out of lists, and only a few names pop up unless you keep getting out and going back in. Ooh, that's perfect. I'll go with Dennis!
Yes!
So what kind of game do you think that they went with here? Mini games for the various obstacles? Wipeout had a similar premise and its tie-in games were platformers, so what does American Ninja Warrior do? QuickTime events. Endless, boring, QuickTime events. Each level is a set of obstacles, and each obstacle you press the buttons listed at the bottom of the screen when the prompts light up, and that's it. And this was a full console release in 2019. Even funnier is the game opens with a tutorial, like you need training on how to push the buttons on shit. Well, that's embarrassing. Let's try it again. Use the shoulder buttons. Shit! It's just basic button presses. I should be able to ass! I swear I'm pushing the button when the prompt is green. You're given plenty of time, so why does Dennis keep falling on the first two friggin' platforms? I honestly do not get what's happening here. I press the button when it says to, and I fall. I gradually figure out to press the button as soon as the prompt appears to get it to count, and even then, it often doesn't work. I know that I can't suck this hard at pushing prompts that are laid out ahead of time, so the only explanation is that the prompts on the screen are wrong somehow, but how the hell do you screw up button prompts? So yeah, it takes extensive trial and error just to get through the tutorial. The game is split into 5 seasons. Each season you have training days and a few cash events leading into the Qualifier. If you pass the Qualifier, you go to the semi-finals, and if you pass those, you go on to the Nationals and then the finale. If Dennis fails any of the major events, the season ends, and you get 5 seasons to try to beat the game before Dennis is forced to retire and I have to start over. Each training day you can work out, pay money to boost one of your stats, but going to the gym is ludicrously expensive in this bizarro world, so most of the time you're going to train, where you run a practice course for a stat boost. But here's the rub, you don't get a stat boost off an obstacle course unless Dennis clears all 4 obstacles, and the problem with that is the controls are absolute garbage! Either the timing or the game's registration of these prompts is so broken and crippled that this basic obstacle of mashing B to jump off paddles and then holding Y to grab a rope is too much for Dennis to handle. I push the buttons when the game tells me to, and I can't for the life of me figure out why it keeps failing. And you only get 3 tries per course. You can boost the number of retries in the options, but for some reason it didn't work. Okay, so the focus training course I can't do. Let's try the strength training course. I am actually not doing too bad. These obstacles don't seem to take any timing, so the game can't— oh, damn it! These icons, I guess, tell you to hold a button down continuously, and between the rope swing last time and these ledges, no matter what I do, I can't get these prompts to work! So what the hell? And that time, even the uber slow shoulder button prompt that you're given ages to push didn't work. And crap's sake, this game takes ages to load. I think Doom Eternal takes less time to load, and Doom Eternal has a lot more to load than this ugly pile of crap. It doesn't freaking matter which training course or event I try, I can't complete a single course. It's like every single obstacle has its own bass-ackwards timing that you have to memorize for every single prompt without any chance to practice to learn said timings. How do you code a game this badly? Screw up so hard registering basic button presses. It's like some inputs I have to press before the prompt even comes up. Some prompts have a lag that you just have to determine through sheer guesswork. About every prompt I press when it's green and it doesn't count, and some prompts I can't get to work at all no matter how many times I try. What kind of broken, completely unplayable, garbage fire heap of shit is this thing? Minute to Win It was more responsive, but Minute to Win It at least had the excuse of having to program motion controls. These are buttons! They screwed up registering buttons! That thing that games have reliably been able to do for the past 40 shit damn years! How do you set out to make a game this dirt simple in 2019 and break so basic a concept so badly? What in the actual name of living ass blasting balls of fuck is this? Shit! 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 What the hell is wrong with— I eventually did figure out why the game was playing so abysmally, and no, it's not because I suck. You know how the Switch's primary feature is its ability to play either as a handheld tablet or docked into a television? Well, several games are known to run ever so slightly differently when the Switch is docked versus handheld. I've heard that Breath of the Wild has a better frame rate handheld, Legacy of the Duelist has noticeably smoother animations when it's docked, but they're all minor changes, nothing that really affects the game. And then there's American Ninja Warrior Challenge. If you play the game with the Switch docked, there's about a full 1 second delay to all of the controls that renders the game completely unplayable. But if you play the game in handheld mode, it runs fine. I could not make up bullshit this stupid if I tried. The game runs so badly that there's a massive lag to all the controls unless you play it in mobile mode. Plus my Switch got really abnormally hot when I was playing it docked, and it stayed perfectly cool in handheld. I have no explanation for this. I just don't get how a game can look this crappy, have gameplay this limited, have load times on par with modern Doom, and still have so much difficulty running. It shouldn't be possible to fail this badly. Even with the controls working correctly, the gameplay is clunky as all hell. Many obstacles have wonky timings where you have to push buttons earlier than the prompts suggest, or prompts with split-second windows you have no hope of reacting to, or prompts that don't correctly portray what you have to do, and any prompt where you have to wiggle the control stick to swing is a total crapshoot as to when you can release and not fall and lose. Even with the game working quote-unquote correctly, it still often falls into sheer memorization to clear even the most basic obstacles, especially since a lot of courses have time limits that tend to screw you if you fail once. You wouldn't think they could screw up a game where all you have to do is tap or hold the buttons indicated on the screen, but around every corner is an obstacle with vague directions or obnoxious timing that'll kick you in the crotch and insta-kill you for a brief mistake. The only bone you're tossed is that the training courses don't change at all across the entire game, so once you've mastered one, you can pretty much get unlimited free stat boosts for all the good it does. The four stats are stamina, speed, strength, and focus, and stamina and strength are the only stats that matter, since several obstacles are explicitly designed to suck out the stamina and insta-kill you, and some obstacles are just flat out impossible without boosting one or both of them. Speed seems to be completely useless, and focus increases the random drop rate of stamina boosts mid-game, which doesn't really help that much. The game has optional pro controls where the button presses are a little more elaborate in exchange for moving faster and using less stamina, but it takes a fair amount of trial and error to get the basic controls to work. You can piss on pro mode. In case you still don't buy that a game this simple can be this poorly made, the game is glitchy as all hell. I hadn't played for a half hour before I witnessed jaw-dropping graphical glitches and full-on crashes. I've barely had a single gameplay session end without the game crashing, and if you're loading or playing an event when the game crashes, and trust me, you will, that event is marked as an instant fail and screws up your campaign even though you hadn't played it yet. I'm gonna be honest, I wanted so little to do with this game that I quit playing it to spend my spare time playing Super Metroid from scratch because I had never beaten it. And then after I was done with that, I kept not playing Ninja Warrior to play Titanic Secrets of the Fateful Voyage. It's not a great game, but it's an engaging story. I love the retro PC art style. It's loads better than Titanic Mystery. Did you know that Titanic's crew couldn't receive radio transmissions warning about the iceberg? Yeah, radios were too new to be standard equipment, so the only receiver aboard was owned by a third party, and it was strictly reserved for paying passengers. They're also ordered to cruise through iceberg-infested waters on purpose to save a few hours off the trip, and they were too cheap to rivet the steel of the hull together properly. Hubris and corporate greed played major roles in the destruction of the Titanic, which brings me back to American Ninja Warrior Challenge, because hubris and corporate greed played major roles in bringing us this broken piece of crap. I want this video done yesterday, so I practiced about a half an hour on the handheld mode. I made a brand new profile that looks like Zero Suit Samus. I'm just going to film my last playthrough and be done with this. Okay, so because the character creator menu is borked, my Samus clone is named Chew Negley, and presumably due to another game glitch, I start with $150 when Janice started with $1,000. I'm too broke to work out, so I have to train. Luckily, I can get through the focus course after some practice. You jump on platforms by timing B, holding a rope, and swinging, all easy when the controls are working. Then you hop over more platforms with really lenient timing on the shoulder button presses to recover. This third obstacle took some practice, though. You climb these parallel walls by pressing Y then B repeatedly, except the prompt to press B is only around for a split second, so it takes pure trial and error to beat that. And then the warped wall is ironically a cakewalk when it's infamously hard in real life. So I passed 2 focus trainings, and then I decided to try the speed training, which has mostly the same obstacles until you get to this swinging paddle monkey bars thing that I can't beat. You hold Y to grab this ledge, swing over, then release and grab the next one, but probably 70% of the time I release Y to leap off, I just fall, and even when it works, it seems to take really awkward timing to grab the next bar that I can't crack. So I fall, and another brand new glitch rears its ugly head. My controls lock up! I can't move or try the obstacle again. I am frozen in place, and there's no malfunction in the controller because I can still dance to regain stamina. Again, how does this happen? The first cache event is just mashing B, use the cache to work out stamina. The second event, you have to lift up 5 walls, and you're given so little time to clear this obstacle that without numerous strength or stamina upgrades, this is just flat out impossible. Now we're on the qualifier. I need to beat this or my first season's over. The only tricky obstacle here is the Salmon Ladder because its timings for alternating buttons is pretty much completely reversed from what the prompts suggest, and I need to recover after just about every jump. Basically, if you don't know ahead of time to recover stamina before both this and the ledge climb, you're hosed because both obstacles suck out all of it. Luckily, I win, and now there's a spider climb event for money, and the instructions for it are actually wrong. You play this event by holding Y and B, then releasing Y and B, but the directions don't tell you to release B, so the controls will keep reading wrong for no clear reason. Clearly, I need to pour my every cent into stamina, so I work out stamina a few times, and now we're up to the city finals. Start with paddles and rope swing because this game recycles obstacles like crazy. The fun facts boast that the shows had over 200 obstacles, and the game barely seems to have just over a dozen that it keeps recycling ad nauseum. Next, you grip a bag and press A when it falls down. With harsh timing on the prompts. Ouch. Okay, we're gold. Wow, the host's faces are frozen into weird Joker smiles. Warped wall and Salmon Ladder I've done several times now, and geez, another rope swing? The course is recycling obstacles from itself now. And mash Y to climb ropes? I pass. Work out stamina, and I'm broke again, so I guess I'll try the strength training. Even though I know how to do every obstacle in this course, the timing is so damn finicky for swinging on the ledge climb, releasing and holding Y just right and getting it to register, that I still run out of time by a few seconds. But whatever, we're up to the Nationals. I've never made it this far before. Maybe I'll actually finish. No! The game crashed! Come on, come on, come on, don't screw me. Don't screw me, I don't want to have to start over. Okay, wow, the first Nationals were marked as an instant fail, but I still get to do the second round. Neato. All the obstacles are recycled again because there are no bounds of laziness too great for this game, and I've even worked out the timing of the ledge climb. Turns out the prompt to release Y and swing over will be accepted pretty much any time. You just won't see any reaction from your character to let you know that it worked so that you can time grabbing the next ledge. Nationals 3 is just about nothing but obstacles where you hold and release Y over and over, because not only does the game heavily recycle a small pool of activities, but loads of the activities play identical to one another. I just get a little hung up on these parallel ledges because that whole no feedback when you've released the button crap pops up again. Okay, what happened here? It says the prompt to jump was accepted, but... Oh, son of a bitch! I finish with an abysmal time, but still get first place because the game says I'm the only one who finished at all, making me wonder if times even matter for these last events. I guess the other competitors don't get stamina back with the power of dance like I do. Last is the infamously hard, legendary, brutal final climb up Mount Midoriyama, only ever completed by the best of the best athletes. And it's piss-easy button mashing. So now I've won Ninja Warrior, and I've unlocked the commentators to use in Quick Play. Yay, that would be great if I knew who those people were. So now Season 2 starts, and literally every event in Season 2 is identical to what I just beat in Season 1. Only the cash events are swapped out, like the jumbo warped wall with a button mashing prompt that I can't get to work for the life of me. The qualifiers, finals, and nationals are literally the exact same events that I just beat, only now I have $25,000 to spend on workouts boosting my stats to make it all easier. I even complete Mount Midoriyama again, and now my stamina is maxed out and I have more money than I think it's possible to spend for the remaining 3 seasons. I finished out all 5 seasons as Samus, and every season is exactly the same events and obstacles. Nothing changes each season, except each one gets progressively easier because your stats are always increasing. How do you make a game so bass-ackwards that the opening levels are the hardest in the game? All that happens if you clear all 5 seasons is the game brings up a screen saying, "Congratulations, you completed all 5 seasons." There's literally nothing to do after that but start over with a new character or do quick plays of events for fun, which I can promise you'll never do because no sane person would consider this fun. I don't even think that I can blow all of Samus's excess cash on new outfits once she's retired. What a load! Even if this game worked right, it would be one of the most embarrassingly lazily made games that I've ever seen, with astoundingly phoned-in shit gameplay, so combine that with the fact that this game runs like crap and is completely unplayable if the Switch is docked, and it's just flat-out jaw-dropping how abysmally made American Ninja Warrior Challenge is. Wipeout was playable, Minute to Win It was at least trying, though I guess I can't say this is the laziest tie-in game I've ever played because that Rudolph game I played last year was really bad. But now, that's done. Next is Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects, a game that some of you and myself might actually give a crap about. Good riddance.